Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel here to just discuss everything Celtic ahead of the derby on Sunday, and also we'll be discussing our Europa League draw which took place. You'll be watching this on Saturday, so yesterday afternoon. I'm joined by Alistair to go over everything. How you doing, Alistair?
Good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Aye, alright. I mean, we've got a lot to get through, so we may as well just
Aye.
go through. First, we'll also speak about the Europa League draw which happened, and just get your thoughts on it. What I'll do is I'll put it up. And this is our ties here. So we play Roma at home. We play Braga. Utrecht is under there. Sturm Graz. Feyenoord away. Red Star Belgrade away. Midtjylland away. And Bologna away as well. Alistair, what is your thoughts on that draw on the screen?
Okay, Josh, I'm just going to fire it out. I see four possible ones there, and hopefully we can find something else.
Would you like the graphic? I don't normally make graphics, by the way.
I do like the graphic. Well done.
Thanks.
Must have took you ages doing that.
I know that's one thing I'm shit at, thumbnails and graphics. As you'll probably be able to tell on the channel, the thumbnails are shite. So
Yeah, I know.
But no, what's your thoughts?
Well,
you talked about 4 winnable games here.
I can just say, Josh, we should clarify we do not know the order of the games yet.
Aye.
And I'm kind of hoping that we get Roma quite late on. I would, but I'll give you my 4 winnable games. It's Midtjylland's the one away game that I think we could win. I think we could win the Utrecht, the Braga, and the Sturm Graz games. Well, that's what you look at when you see the draw, Josh. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm looking at.
I think it's possible. I know obviously Celtic are in some state at the moment, so this is obviously. I think a lot, and I was listening to Ryan 118's live thing, or we watched it back, and he made a good point, and he says, it depends on. I think what type of a lot of these games are going to depend what type of form Celtic are in, because I think if Celtic are in where we are just now in terms, we're not exactly in bad form, but there's not a good mood about the club, if you know what I mean. Then people might be sceptical and pessimistic about it. If we're in a good vein of form, like we were for a lot of the Champions League games last season, I think people might go into games and think, we could get something and so. But I do agree with Alistair. I think Braga, we could get something at home. Obviously, we'll do deep dives when we actually go and play the teams. Utrecht, the turn of the king as well.
Yeah.
Big and Lagerbielke will be coming back to Braga as well.
Yeah.
Sturm Graz for me is no excuse. We should be getting a result out of that. And Midtjylland away, we should be getting a result out of that. No excuse. The only games that I generally would is probably Feyenoord. I think they're a decent team, but they're a bit shit, to be honest with you, under Robin Van Persie at the moment. So
that's an Arsenal fan, folks.
Bologna, I think, will be a tough task. I think with players like Lewis Ferguson, obviously they're on the up in Italy as well. So I think that'll be a tough.
I will say something, Josh. I looked at Lewis. I looked at Bologna's results so far this season, and granted it's only a couple of games, but Lewis Ferguson never started. And bizarrely, the game that Bologna played, they actually played Roma, and Wesley scored against Bologna, and Roma won 1-0, and Ferguson was on the bench and they never got on. So,
but I think the games, I think that is still probably that with Red Star and Feyenoord for me are the games we might struggle just because Red Star with the stadium atmosphere, whatever else. They did obviously get knocked out of Paphos, so you never know. But I do think there's games there that we can target to get us to probably.
It's going to be the home games, as always with Celtic.
Aye,
And you target the Michelin game if you need it.
aye, no, definitely. I also spoke there about orders and whatever else. What order would you like them to be? If you could pick your first home game, what would it be?
First home game, I'm going to be honest, Sturm Graz.
Sturm Graz.
Yeah. I
I think
don't
with
think
any,
I'm
aye,
being
I think
disrespectful there, Josh.
no, I wouldn't say it being disrespectful. It will be a tough task as well, no matter what. They were in the Champions League playoff like ourselves, but you want Celtic to try and build a bit of momentum. Maybe get into the Roma games or get into the Braga games or whatever. So hopefully we can, because that's what happened in the Champions League last year. We built a bit of momentum against Bratislava, obviously winning 5-1. Then obviously went away and get absolutely
Dortmund,
decimated in
yeah.
Dortmund, but there was still that momentum there. But we still mean, and then we went and got a decent draw in Atalanta the game after that. So if we
I,
can hit a kind of group like that, then I think we could be on a good kind of.
I said
Um,
this to you off camera. The good thing is, once I worked out our fixtures, I looked at Feyenoord's Red Star, Roma, Sturm Graz, and what I phoned you back, didn't I? And I said they're actually all playing each other, so they'll all cut each other up. Probably cut us up as well, but at least that'll make it interesting, Josh.
no, it should.
It should.
But as I said, we'll obviously cover each team when we get closer to actually playing. I think they'll do like the first fixtures until the start of October. I'm pretty sure.
No, that was a conference league. It's the kind of second last week of September, something like
September,
the
right? Okay.
24th,
Um,
24th or something.
no, but I do think there's points we can get there, and as I said, we'll obviously cover.
Well,
Um,
I don't think we're going into a competition expecting to win all 8 games. So
not in this current state as we
no,
find ourselves in, but
no. But
um,
the thing is, at least Josh, we should, famous last words with Celtic, but we should be competitive. The games there we can be competitive in. No excuse. Otherwise we're
um,
in deep doo-doo.
aye, and it goes back to the board again. You know, we're crapping ourselves over teams like Sturm Graz. Not like it just goes back to the whole European regression thing, and that's the thing.
Unprepared, that's for it
Aye.
is an important line.
But as I say, we'll cover everything when we get closer to actually playing said team. Alistair, the other thing, obviously, the transfer news.
What
The news
transfer?
that we've signed Michel Ange Barquisha finally. He's in the door, and Sarachi, the left back, was announced as well. We've spoke about them, to be honest with you, so I'm not really going to ask you too much in your thoughts, but it's obviously just good to get something in the door, but everything's just too late. I'm sorry, everything
Yeah,
is.
and I feel sorry for the two players because it's not their fault. And
Nah,
we do this. I
it
was
is
going
every
to
year.
call it a dance. We do it every year.
Every
And
year.
there's no excuse for it.
Nah.
And I'm pretty sure we'll go into it, Josh. We're going into that bit where our main striker is practically at the door, we
Aye.
think. But we'll get
Um,
into that.
no, but we'll move on to that just now, actually. Woke up to there was rumours, obviously, that Adam Eder might have moved on, and then it kind of accelerated that he was going to Swansea for a deal, I think about 7 million. I think it was like 5 million plus said amount of add-ons. Then we seemed to get linked with Casper Dolberg from Anderlecht. Then Adam Eder's apparently down. Anthony Joseph has a bit of a nightmare, I think, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
In terms of credibility, I don't really know if he's actually. I'm not trying to be disrespectful
He's
or anything, but
copying a lot of he's copying a lot of things he's hearing.
aye,
He's jumping the gun.
um, So like obviously we're talking about Casper Dolberg. He obviously broke it and says that Celtic were interested in looking to kind of
Well, David Field kind of broke it, but
aye.
not
So
that I read that paper, but I know of David Field because he's well known to have the club's ear in certain things. So I think what will happen, can I be completely honest? I am browbeaten down with talking about transfers. I'm just kind of totally scunnered with the whole transfer window. It's just
aye.
nothing they could do now would make me happy.
No,
I
I'm the same. Because I think this issue, it's not this issue isn't just one window, and I've been listening to a lot of the boys who bus, and they've been saying a lot. But that is the problem. People will get a few signings in when they go, "This is hunky dory now." I'm. There
no,
needs to.
I'm by that stage.
I know. But I fear there's no many other people who are by that stage. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but I mean, we're recording this on Friday night, and the latest is that Adamira was down at Swansea for a medical that was being whisked back up the road because Brendan Rodgers basically said that
Unless I got a striker, he's no going.
which is ridiculous.
I get it,
I,
but
you know, Brendan Rodgers is not to blame before we get into this, but Brendan Rodgers is not one tad to blame because Brendan Rodgers knows that we probably made a mistake letting go Kyogo with no having a strike on the door. But you pretend, right? I'm going to be honest with you, right, Radamida. I think it's time to just cut the losses. I really liked the big man, wanted him to try and succeed as much as possible, but it's became very hard this season. I
yeah,
think he's just looked
I think he's
disinterested.
switched off, Josh.
He's looked really disinterested, to be honest with you, lacking in confidence. So for me, it's the right time, for me to, if I was to be honest with you and say that we need to cut the losses, but now that can be affected because we're looking for a centre forward. I mean, there's no other club in Europe that does business like this. And Brendan Rodgers spoke again about needing to change it because he brought up a good point. He was like, "It's happened under Ange, it's happened under Lennon, it's happened under me." It's
Yeah,
correct.
twice.
Exactly. So it needs to. This is ridiculous. We have got a derby on Sunday. The lack of signings has already cost us a place in the Champions League, and I will go that far. We have Barakwisha and a competent striker in that part. We're in the Champions League, and we
We
are.
actually beat them comfortably. We don't need to worry about the second leg.
Aye, exactly. And we've got a derby on Sunday, which could cost it. It could cost us for that. I mean, you couldn't make this up.
Yeah, I know.
It's a shambles. It is.
And we know, me and Josh, and I don't want to speak for him because he's big enough to speak for himself. But I can almost guarantee you, we'll be sitting. I don't know the deadline if it's 11 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whenever it is. But I can guarantee you, we're sitting here ready to podcast, and we'll be waiting on something.
Aye, and nothing will happen
But
as
will
usual.
we, won't we? Will we let either go? Will we bring Dolberg in, or will it be somebody else? We'll bring somebody in. I'm quite sure of that. But again, it's a level. I mean, you phoned me this morning. You said, um, and you said,
I'll quote my words. Get him in now.
you said it's the first signing I've been genuinely buzzing about.
Because that's the calibre Celtic should be attracting. There's no excuse. I'm not expecting Celtic to go into a top 5 league and attract a striker who's scoring 20, 30 goals in that league.
Yeah.
We'll go on to obviously Casper Dolberg in a minute, but this was the last tweet basically saying either £7 million agreed, he heads down, completes the medical, finalises terms, Celtic make progress in the Dolberg talks, and as of 9 o'clock, Celtic still have no agreement, and he has been called back up. Now, I don't know if I'm just being really pessimistic here, but I think we could all see what's maybe coming here. Honestly, it is a joke.
I think the way it'll play out, Josh, right?
Do you think we'll
Um,
get Casper Dolberg? That's
yeah, I do. I
right.
do. Because I think the manager will say, you're basically, you've let a £7 million deal slip through your fingers. Who, let's face it, we're not going to get that money for it again.
No.
Well, no. So,
So surely the board would be pushing it because they love money.
I know. So, no, what Rogers is basically saying, I let Ida go, but I ain't doing a Kyogo again and being left with an experienced striker. Now, say what you like about Ida, but he's still the most oven ready striker we've got.
Exactly, and you're correct. Because Yamada is not had enough game time. Osman, let's just move on.
I don't know where that came from.
And Kenny, for me, just isn't really good enough, to be honest with you. I
You
was
can't
literally.
put all that pressure on him.
And I'm not going to sit here and wax lyrical about, our rivals, but our rivals could potentially have Bojan Miovski up front
Yeah,
for
somebody
the
that
derby on Sunday. Um,
wanted to be fair.
and we could have Johnny Kenny up front,
A lad I made that it's
half checked
half
out.
past the door. Take your
Exactly.
time.
It's,
Oh, no, I tell you what we'll do, Josh. We'll go into starting 11. I tell you exactly what we'll do. We'll play Balaquisa wide and we'll put Maida through the middle. That's what we'll do. Guarantee it.
probably. No, you're probably right. Sorry, I was just putting my laptop on charge. No, you're probably correct. But it's just
I don't see what else you can do because you can't start either.
like I've never like, and obviously you're subconsciously watching Rangers over the summer. What they're doing, it's just lucky they're managed by a donut. Um, and I'll say that no matter if he beats us on Sunday or not, because he is. He's an absolute donut.
And see, to be honest, we're lucky. I'm gonna die in this thought, Josh. I think we're lucky that regardless of what Russell Martin does, I don't see Rangers winning the league under Russell Martin. I don't.
No, I don't personally, but what they are doing, they are signing players.
Yeah, we're no.
And I know they had to sign more than us, but this is getting ridiculous now. The pace on both sides, and it's not we're taking our time to try and get the best quality. We're scrambling again.
Well, see, to be honest, nothing's got to happen on Sunday. You're basically at Monday night.
And even if
deadline day.
even if Casper Dolberg comes in, right?
I
Think
need
of
a winner.
think of the pressure he's under.
I know.
Like Arne Engels last year, like Adamida, ironically enough, the pressure he's under.
Like Michael Balaquisa, because I can already hear it. First time he plays at Celtic Park. We waited 2 years for this guy.
And I actually did say that to somebody. I was like, he's not got to be able to come in and just
Relax.
they're going to have to relax because again, he's not had a pre-season because of the club. Well, lucky he had a pre-season with Antwerp, which was good and
He's
whatever
been
else.
playing. That's the one thing I will say.
So that's obviously a good thing. In terms of talking about Casper Dolberg, I've already made my thoughts clear on it. That is the type of talent that we should be trying to attract, and there's no excuse why we shouldn't. We should have been trying better for Kelvin Stengs because that is the talent. And I'm not having people go at, oh, well, he's going to cost 10 million. Don't care.
Left fire over there.
Well, exactly.
Good. He could have come back and bought us again.
Casper Dolberg, if he's going to cost 6, 7, 8 million pounds, so.
Well, we'll put ourselves and I need a position.
But the thing is, right, it really annoys me. They could have the tweet that came out, right, and obviously you can't 100% trust whatever what journalists whatever say, but apparently we could have had them a month ago.
Aye,
But we wanted to try and save £2 million, and I'm like, I could believe that.
aye, well. All I'll say is we done it with her.
Aye,
I mean, apparently Engels and Ida both were on the majority shareholders' desk for £6 million each last year, and we had to play 11 and 9 respectfully.
mental, it's
That's not the
mental.
manager's fault, that.
Aye, no, definitely. But aye, Casper Dolberg for me, as I said, he's gold caps for Denmark. I'm just going to get his stats.
50 caps, aye. 50
Um,
caps, 12 goals. Um,
um,
But I'll say one thing about Casper Dolberg, and I'm not being funny here. Can I be honest, Josh? Unless he signs, I think he will sign, but can I be completely honest with you? I don't want to A, get my hopes up, and B, make an ass of myself because
that's the
could be,
problem
sat,
with
could be sitting here Monday night talking about
need to. Aye.
somebody completely different. That-
That's his
that's
stats on the screen now. 24 goals last season and 45 appearances in the Belgium
what are you
top flight.
waiting for? What are you
Exactly.
waiting for?
And I was actually speaking to a Rangers fan today, and I said to him, and I says, talked to him, he was like, that's a good signing. He says, good quality league, Belgium league, probably not the best Anderlecht team. Celtic, pay the
No,
money.
they've been stinking for a while.
Um, Celtic, pay the money. And for
I mean,
me, he's a Brendan Rodgers type striker. We always talk about Edward Dembele with the power and the height and the stature. There you go.
do you know what I think the problem will be? See the longer, say we wait to Sunday night before going to Anderlecht and saying, right, we're going to pay, the price will go up.
Exactly.
And that's the problem you're going to have. And do you know something? They're that stupid. They'll they'll have no option but to pay it because you can't. Okay, we're lucky, and I mean this that Adam Mead is a Celtic fan. Say, well, give us his all because it's Rangers were playing. See if it was anybody else in the league. It'd be unfair.
Aye.
Can you imagine playing the likes of Livingston and Adam is just going to say, I'm no putting my body through it. I'm in the verge of no
Move.
life-changing move, but he's on better wages at Swansea and he will be with us.
He will be, and I think. So even though you're saying maybe give his all, he's probably not going to because like, fuck if I get injured here.
You
Because
know,
I think deep down Adamida wants to leave as well.
I think it's best for all parties.
Aye. I think with Adamida, we'll always have the 6 months done really well with that season. Obviously, go to the Scottish Cup final, go what nobody will ever forget. But I could still see a world where we're sitting here and Adamida's still at Celtic Football Club on Monday,
Yeah, I know.
and I could generally see that happening. Um,
I personally think, Josh, okay, here's what I think we'll get in. We'll get a striker and another winger.
but
That's the optimistic me.
aye,
But
but Alistair, that's what really pisses me off because we've done nothing then. Because if you think about it, even when Adamida was here, we're looking for another striker. We've still
yeah,
not
no.
replaced. So I'm sorry, and it was that Nathan messaged me today, and I was speaking to him. He's like, what would need to be done to this transfer to be window to be salvageable? I says, in
It,
my eyes, and you can
it
say I'm
can't be
entitled.
salvageable.
Aye, if you can say I'm entitled, there's been far too much damage done for it to be salvageable with the board
I,
and it as a long term
I mean,
thing.
look at it this way. You alluded to it earlier when you said It cost us Champions League qualification. That's £40 million, give or take revenue.
Exactly. So there's too much for me. The damage has already been done because I know
Yeah,
we'll just be in the same situation next season, the following season, no matter who the manager or who the players are, because that is how this board operate.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, it's not salvageable because we're just in the same situation again.
No,
And
do you know something? If we do get a winger and a striker, all be
no, we have to get a striker in now. It's not if.
oh no, I'm just saying, us all be is relief.
Aye, we've
Relief,
done the.
bare minimum again.
Aye, we've downgraded. We've downgraded again and again and again. Now, and that's what I will say. Celtic, if you at least want to I know they'll probably not care. Try and get the fans a bit on side and try and maybe repair the damage. Your first protocol should be like, and like, how much you want?
Yeah,
9 million, there you go.
yeah,
No, well, we'll get in for, and I've seen what being like this Tunisian winger. Here's 4.5. Just give him the fucking money. Come on, man.
yeah. Because it's not as if you've no get the money there. I mean,
Exactly.
just say either goes right. Well, I think either will go because I
Mm-hmm.
think it'd be sheer neglect to keep a guy
They want
against his
to leave.
will.
All right.
But the thing is, you've got 7 million for Ida, uh, four, 14, 17 million for Kuhn,
That's
2
24
million
million.
for Lagerbielke. Now,
26.
for God's sake,
5 million for Frimpong.
yeah, give or take,
31 million pounds.
and
And
we've spent 8.
we've spent 8 million. Now, if we don't bring a striker in, we
We
and I
are,
think if Ida doesn't leave, we don't spend anywhere over 10 million pounds. I think we will now because Ida's obviously probably going to leave.
if,
But
if we,
that's a damning
I'm,
indictment.
excuse my language here, but if we don't bring a striker in, we're really fucked.
And people say, oh, well, the main game of the season's gone. Still got a Europa League campaign there.
Still got a league to
Yeah,
win.
against some good teams.
Yeah,
Roma, no pushovers. They've got fucking World Cup winners in their team.
yeah,
Braga, good Portuguese outfit. Red Star, really difficult to get away there and get a result.
yeah.
There's some really difficult teams in there.
And,
And
and you can't just ask the same players to go to the well all the
aye.
time.
And that goes for domestically. I think that is the problem. I think players like Hatate and Carter Vickers have got that. Like, we've done this how
Us
many
again,
years?
us again, they're
Aye.
relying on us again.
So I think that's why you need, and I think maybe that's what's happened with it. I think you need players who have no won the Scottish League before because that's the hunger.
Yeah,
That's the hunger, and that's the thing. And as you said, we'll get a league to win.
yeah,
Russell Martin could miraculously turn that around. I don't know. It could start on Sunday for all we know.
yeah.
You know, but
I
I
doubt it,
think
but
aye,
you can't rely on them always being shite.
exactly, and that's the problem. We rely on them being bad all the time, and that is the problem. That is the sheer issue at hand here. We rely on Rangers being bad, and they have got some good players. Bojan Miovski, as you can go back in this channel, I have been a big fan of him for years.
Yeah, yeah. Well, to be fair, Josh, he's the first player really since Nikita Yelovich that I wanted. I would
And
have
I'm and I'm going no, we're no two faced on this. We're not going to go at he's shite. Like, and we're no two faced, but
yeah, I mean, 4.2 million is the maximum he's going to cost. Why were we not all over that? Because
why?
I
Aye,
know, sorry, I know for a fact Celtic were watching him week in, week out. Why would
aye,
we even I mean, I get maybe Aberdeen didn't want to sell directly to us, but it was
fine,
sitting in your lap.
aye. And do you know what the thing is, right? Why can we not go and get Dolberg for £9 million and then get another striker for about £3 or £4 million and then the two of them are fighting for the place. Like when we had Kyoto and Giakoumakis, that was brilliant.
Do you know
Brilliant.
what? Do you know what I would do? Turn off Hibs fans if you're really upset with this. Go and get Dolberg and go and get Dobie.
Dobie?
Bowie.
You're a darts player, man. Jesus fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Bowie, you mean?
Go and get Kieran Bowie and they can learn.
By the
And
way, no, you might think I'm mental, you're right, but I was watching.
would that be a bad idea?
No, it wouldn't, because I was going to say I was watching the Hibs highlights. It was brilliant. Do you know who I had? Maybe have a wee. If we're looking at wingers, go and see. Go to Hibs and go. What about Martin Boyle?
Too old.
I say though because we're still relying on James Forrest.
I get your point, but
Get my point? Like, I'm
no.
not saying that's who we should be going for, but we're still relying on James Forrest.
But no, if
But Kieran Bowie, I think we've had these good signing.
Well, you know who used to be brilliant in that. I mean, I'll give you an example, right? Gordon Strachan was the manager. He'd go and get a McDonald. He'd go and get I know Chris Cullen didn't work, but the idea was right. Somebody that knows the league, and so that you could maybe play a Dolberg in the Europa League on a Thursday and say to Kieran Bowie, there you go. You play against a Hearts at Celtic Park and do it that way.
Aye.
It's no rocket science. They overcomplicate the transfer market at times. They really do.
Exactly. But I asked that, with transfers, we'll also see what happens. Come Monday night, innit?
Monday, I would like to know what time it starts.
I think it's 11, I think, normally. So,
but although I think I heard them saying in Sky it's 7 o'clock, but I don't know if
it's 11. I think it's 11.
Scotland.
But no, so obviously we'll see what happens. I think we'll need to also try and move on because we're coming up for 32 minutes here. On the actual, the probably biggest, and that just goes to show how much is going on at the club at the moment. That the derby is probably the last thing that we're actually discussing. Playing Rangers on Sunday, Alistair, for me, for Brendan Rodgers, and for confidence in Brendan Rodgers, he needs to go to IBROX, and I would say this, and get a win, because Brendan Rodgers and Celtic have not been anywhere near Rangers the last few derbies. The League Cup final, we were very lucky. The 3-0 game, we were torn apart. He also gave me off fucking Barry Ferguson.
Yeah.
So Celtic need to come out and put a statement in, and that's the problem. I don't know if we've got the team to do it because of the shambles it is this transfer window. And it all goes back to the transfers. But Celtic need to go out and put a statement, because it's going to be really weird, because Rangers are calling the manager out, we are calling the board out.
Yeah.
We are not playing that great either. They're playing horrendously at the moment. It's going to be one of the weirdest derbies.
We've got the points on the board, Josh. They haven't.
That's a difference.
That's a difference.
But I think what Celtic need to do, they need to go in there and they need to start with a pace that smacks the intent straight away, because there's a lot of unrest happening over there, in terms of, maybe not over here. I don't think there's unrest with the board and everything else, but I don't think there's unrest in the dressing room in here. But in there, there's Raskin's falling out, Eagleman's obviously went away. They don't want Russell Martin there. They are sick and tired, fed up with Russell Martin. I'm not a Rangers fan. I'm sick and tired of listening to myself. I think he's an absolute buffoon, to be honest with you.
And also, Josh, what I would say, we need to stay in the game as long as possible.
Because you need to get them frustrated and on the back, because we know what this Ibrox crowd is like. But the thing is, see if they score early, you give the Ibrox crowd something to get behind. You don't want that.
Yeah, first goal's massive.
Aye. And the problem is we're not getting it. That's the thing.
I would love a win. But if you were to offer me a point right now, I'd probably take it.
No, I think we need, and I'm going to. Don't know if it was a point, it is what it is, but I think Celtic need to go for the juggler
Yeah,
because you're no going to get Rangers at a worse moment. I don't think they
true.
are rocking at the moment. They're
If
signing a
the
lot of
game was
players.
at Celtic Park, I'd be very confident. It's no,
Aye,
and that
um,
does rock you a bit. No, but I would genuinely love to get an early goal, turn their crowd against them, and go for there. I mean, personally, I think the Celtic team picks itself.
that's what I
But
was going to ask you in a minute. What would be your team?
Michael Ralston, only because Johnson's injured, by the way. I've not
Mm-hmm.
lost leave in my sentences. KT, uh, Scales and Carter Vickers. Be fair, that's what he's going to go with.
Aye.
Midfield, I'm going to call this out. I don't think Hatate and Negrin can play in the same midfield. I've quietly thought that the last 2 or 3 games.
But I think they would have to play in the team anyway. I think because of the lack of options we've got at the moment. So I don't really
I
know.
I would play McGregor, Engels, Hatate.
I'd inclined to agree. I think. Just because I think players like they've got players in this, which another thing it might be in our favour. Now we could be saying all this on here on Sunday and that nams, but another thing it could be in our favour is the fact that they haven't played a derby. A lot of the players that's in there, so
Yeah,
the
you
pressure
probably
of
only got Butland, Raskin, and
well, Raskin,
Tavernier.
no, because Raskin's out. He won't be anywhere near it. So you're Butland and Tavernier. I think for me, I think we try and go with the mids because I don't know about Negrin because I think sometimes he can be a little
It
bit of a
depends.
rabbit in the headlights sometimes.
That's something that really annoys me when they take a corner, try to jazz up the crowd. Now, you do that with your actions on the park. You don't need to
Aye.
do this waving
Don't
your.
get me wrong. I think Negrin's been a great player, but I just think obviously it's going to be a big. And I'm going to contradict myself in a minute, but I just think I would go with Engels, Hatate, and McGregor. McGregor needs a massive game against Rangers.
Yeah,
Been a passenger the last
yeah.
few games, and I'm quite happy that Nico Raskin is not playing because he has, and say what you want, and you can say I'm talking shit here. He has bossed us the last few games.
Yeah, he's been an
He has.
aggravating pain in the
He's been
arse.
a right. He's been a pain in the ass. He's managed to dominate that midfield. But Callum McGregor needs a massive game on Sunday because, and I'm going to say it for probably the first time of me, if he plays like he did on Wednesday, I'd be questioning
Aye, truth.
because Wednesday he wasn't great and he needs a big game on Sunday, and I back him to have that big game because it's Callum McGregor.
He's owed one. We,
Aye,
we, we, we owe Rangers one as a club, to
we
be
only
fair.
owe Rangers one if we can go there and play our game properly. That's what I would say. Um, and I think we can. No matter obviously without lack of pure reinforcements. Front three for me. Um, Michel and Balakush, I think will be right in to the
Has
action.
to start. Has to
Um,
start.
I think he's quite excited. Rogers was quite upbeat about him starting, so I think he'll be right in the action. I'd say maybe on the left hand side. I think Dyson Maeda will be up top, and I think James Forrest will play on the right hand side.
Yeah, that's what I would go with.
Aye,
I'm going to be honest, Josh. I don't trust Jan. I
no, I
can't.
don't need. Nah, I've had enough. He was. The Scottish Cup final was my last straw. With
Yeah,
Yankee, to be honest with you, man. I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, but I
I
don't care.
mean, It was very like the Scottish Cup final. The other night, Yang was
It was
hiding.
it was
He was
honking.
hiding. He was
Aye, like
hiding.
a lot of the team, to be fair.
I know they were all bad, but with Yang, I don't know what it is. It's just very noticeable.
Aye. I think we need to get on top of him, as I was saying. Raskin being out, obviously, because they've got there's a lot of unrest between, obviously, the fans and manager. I think the fans don't want the manager there. The manager's not really helping himself. His comments, he's come out and saying Raskin is training fine, and he's come out and saying Raskin's not got to be involved. So it's like, it's a
Well, he
bit.
never said Raskin wouldn't be involved, but he never said he would either.
But then I think it get reported by one of their main journalists that basically Raskin won't feature on Sunday, and
Yeah, he's
so
getting sold. He's getting
uh,
sold.
so I think Celtic need to get on top of them, and really, if he can get that first goal, then hopefully he can turn kind of the place toxic against their own players. I asked the final question, and I always said games like this we're going to test the score predictor. By the way, score
Well,
predictors,
you're first. You're
I'm
first.
at first because the Kyrat game, I wasn't even fuck the score predictor because we were shite.
Well,
Uh,
what was it you said? None of us were right.
um,
You said we go through, but you weren't
I think I said 1-0.
saying how.
No, 2-0. I think I said
I
2-0.
because I was 1-0.
For me, 2-1 Celtic.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go actually. 1-0 Celtic.
Aye, just
I
try and
would
get a
take. I would take anyone. To be fair, you'll probably find when it comes to the derbies, the 30 quid will go out the window. Um,
Aye,
so no, but can I just say something? I said I'd mention this. A pal of ours was was um was told by somebody at the club that that the Kyrat Almaty away section was sold out, and it turned anybody that watched it in the telly would tell you it wasn't. So, Alan, I said I would mention it, son. It just sums up where the club is at the moment.
aye.
Going
To
in
be
that
honest,
park.
we've spoken about the club. To be honest, and I can't really speak any more about the club. We know the communication wise, this club's just no great at the moment. But I mean, I don't know what else you can kind of say about it. But hopefully, we can just obviously keep doing it on the pitch and domestically.
Yeah, the league results is keeping us sane, Josh.
And
Honestly.
and hopefully the transfers will take care of itself come Tuesday. So, but I'm going to wrap it up there for today's video because we've went on for nearly 45 minutes.
And
We
your
get-
cameras are going to die, I think.
Aye. So we're going to, well, obviously, as usual, be back at some point on Sunday for post-match reaction. Hopefully, talking
If
about
I survive.
even either a good win at IBROX or an absolute hammer at IBROX. I don't think there's going to be any in between. But until then, we'll speak to you later. And hail, hail.
Hail, hail, won the hoops.